So welcome everybody. Welcome. This is our dance journeys podcast. This is already our second podcast going now live on Facebook. And my name is Pirita. And these podcasts are being. I'm always having a little guest, and I'm trying to have a guest who are people who I've met through my classes and who I've been working with, and they've been really committed dancers, and I call them my dance lovers. I sometimes also think that a dance lover. So I have today Aurora Carton, and I know I'm gonna say I've said it wrong, right? So you Aurora is gonna say her name better, but it's always these lovely things of the pronunciations. But she's here with us today. So I'm just gonna let Aurora to introduce herself. So if you can just say the name and tell us just a little bit of like where you're from and where are you based now.
Cool. Well, hello everyone. Hi Pirita. Thank you for inviting me. I'm Aurore, but Aurora in English, and I'm from France. I've been in Glasgow for the last 2 years, and I started dancing with Pirita, I think now almost a year ago, through Glasgow Dance Studio, initially with reggaeton and hip hop. And then since everything has been shuffled, we now continue on Zoom because Zoom became the new god of 2020. And so we've been dancing a lot together. So I'm really happy to be here and talk about it.
Amazing. So yeah, it's been a really the lovely thing of also having a chance that we have international group, that we have people that I felt like when I moved to Edinburgh, the first thing I kind of noticed that there's a lot of people from different countries, which I have felt really blessed with to meet on different like from Spain, and it's like so many nationalities around in Scotland. So it's really lovely to meet other people. And now also throughout this lockdown, it's lovely to have a possibility to get us connected. Like even you're in Glasgow, I'm in Edinburgh, but still we can still
You're
find a way. Exactly. And well, Aurora, can you tell us a little bit about your kind of background of a little bit more about how did you find dance? Like, have you been dancing when you were younger or anything or like that, or how the dance kind of found on your life?
So I think like as a lot of other kids, I've done like a bit of jazz and rock when I was a kid, and then dropped it somehow I've been boxing a lot. So I think now like boxing and dancing is quite complementary to some aspects. And then when I arrived, I've been boxing in France and in Canada. And then when I arrived in Glasgow, I didn't have the type of boxing I wanted. And then I started to work a lot. So finally, I went back to dancing 2 years ago because it was the easiest way to make your own rota, to have like a schedule that could be adapted to my work schedule. And then that's where I was kind of using the dance studio to get to move, to get to like strengthen my body. And so in the end, I was choosing the type of dance, not because I wanted to dance that dance, but just because it was like, I could comply with my work schedule. So I started to do like, hip hop and reggaeton and a bit of ballet, a bit of yoga, a bit of Pilates. And then I started to enjoy it, and then did salsa, and now with you we do like salsa, cha-cha-cha, rumba, everything, so contemporary. So then I started to, when you start something not thinking really about it, and then you end up doing 6 hours a week of dancing, and it starts to be your routine. And now it's something that I'm looking forward to, because otherwise I kind of miss it. And I think it's been the case for a lot of people following your courses as well, since also we have a bit of more time, or we've been furloughed. So so now I'm dancing every day, or even on my own doing like a really tacky reggaeton challenge while changing the bed sheets. Like, it's stupid, but it works.
Amazing. Wow. And I think like during this current climate that we are living, it's challenging and it's hard for us all. But I think the positive side of it, what I hear a lot, is that many people have found dance and even dancing more than they have before. So I think it's something really positive to coming out of this bad situation. So and now that you already kind of said that you have been dancing more, have you noticed that what kind of things you have felt like you are a little bit struggling with, or that feels sometimes hard for you with your dancing?
With the dancing itself, well, dancing was really helping most of the time, more than anything, because when we were, don't want to talk about like stuff that are really annoying, but like when we were on the first lockdown, the only thing that you could do at that moment was to go in the park, and this for like 3-4 months ago. So that was for me a way, if I wouldn't do any physical exercise, I would just like start to lose energy, start to have headaches or whatsoever. So dancing has been really helpful towards that, to help with like the back, the shoulder blades, the hips, the neck. But struggling, I think like struggling was more, I really miss the dance studio. I really miss the fact that like we can fill in the room. I miss the fact that we had a mirror. And so it's when you have a mirror, it's so much better in a sense to correct yourself, or for, I guess, for the teacher, it's easier also to catch like what mistakes we can make, and correct it, and then don't damage your body somehow. So yeah, I would say like the technology is amazing for what, like you can choose the schedule you want. I can find a folder with your Vimeo videos and then do dancing whenever I want, whenever I feel. But at the same time, yeah, I've been struggling just with the fact that like I copy you, and then at the end of an hour in reggaeton, for example, I have the feeling that I'm you, and then I take a video of myself and I see the results, and no, it's not that great. So it's just it would be just the physical part of I miss the fact that I could correct myself on the spot and not like 3 months later, if it makes sense. But other than that, no, it's been very, very positive.
Great. And yeah, and of course it's like you said, it's in the online brings a lot of amazing opportunities, but yeah, it is sometimes harder to get that corrections on the same as you would get on normal dance classes. But yeah, it's one of the things I know myself as well, that I sometimes I miss of being with the studio, with the people.
Yeah.
Then I also then on those moments I kind of remember, but I couldn't be there on the studio with the people that are now in my classes, because there are so many people from different countries.
That's true.
So then I kind of comes to back on that. It's like which one is good. So it's always that looking in from these tiny screens of looking and trying to give you guys as much as I can. But it definitely comes on also on that point of learning to feel how your body is are doing. Like I'm always on thinking of like it's really important and good to learn also to dance of not looking yourself from the mirror, because sometimes when if people are really getting to used to just that, they don't really feel how they are moving. They don't really feel are they using the right muscles, because they're so just learning through watching. So that's a kind of the next step, which I know already that you're also been applying for the Get Your Groove Back Challenge, which I believe it's one of the things that can really help on that, what we work on it to get the right feeling. But definitely I know it's a different feeling, definitely. No one can say that otherwise.
No, but you've done good as well. Like, I mean, just being able to do videos or to do like a flash mob in like for Halloween, even if we were all in our own space, it's good to try to be together. And I know that you put a lot of effort in it. It's just, yeah, it's just that sometimes you want to see the performance that you've done by yourself with other people, which makes more sense somehow, like as part of the like communication with the other dancers. Because finally I really appreciate the fact that like when you're dancing and you remind us all the time that we it's our moment, it's our hour, and you get into this choreography, and that's amazing. And then you've had just a great moment, you've been sweating, you've been twerking, you had shimmy and whatsoever, but then you switch on the light and you realize that you're by yourself. And that's, you know, there's kind of like schizophrenia. But so in the studio, at least you have this moment of transition of feeling, yeah, I was actually with people, you know. So I think after all this time, after like 8 months, I kind of miss it a bit, but it's been great.
Yeah, definitely. I recognize that self is of feeling on that moment. I feel like you said, I have tried to work really hard to get that kind of communication through the online platform, but the minute when I stop it, it's like, okay,
no more disco lights for tonight.
Yeah. So definitely I truly understand how you feel on that. Well, now that you've been also dancing more, what's the kind of the biggest thing that dance is giving to you?
I would say for me, it's been very therapeutic somehow for my balance, my posture. Like when I have, because I'm a bookseller and a waitress, so I've been carrying a lot the last few years, and so now I'm trying to work a lot on my back, so on my core, so blah blah blah, to be structured. So that has been healing a lot, like trying to understand the pain and to correct it. I think that was the biggest thing, because it's been therapeutic physically but also mentally, because we've all been facing like hard time with furlough or thinking of being redundant or like having a lack of activities, so struggling with like being alone with our same type of thoughts. And so just thinking that, oh, at the end of the day I'm gonna have like a hip hop class or Pilates, at least, you know, like yeah, it really helped my mental health and balancing it. Because once you, if you spend the entire day thinking of about the same thing, and then at the end you have 1 hour where you release everything, then it also carries more energy. So you thought you were tired, but then after an hour or 2 hour of dance, you're like suddenly warmer, like ready for doing something different. So for me, I would say it was, for both, well, body and mind in the end. But body and mind, it has helped a lot the last few months to make it quite stable when it was possible. That's the main thing. That's been really helpful every day, honestly.
Amazing. And that's why I keep on saying, when I say that dance is truly the unique type of training method, that's what I really mean by that it gives that good practice for the body, but it gives a really amazing time and break for your brain from rest of it that is really happening in life. So I'm always kind of hoping that everybody should be dancing, even just a little bit, to get something a little bit out from their head, just for a little while, because we're so much in our heads, especially when you're getting just more adult. There's a lot of responsibilities that goes in your head. So
And
So
then I realized as well that like since I turned 30, I thought it was a myth, but it's not a myth. I really need to take care of my body nowadays. So I realized that I really need to, otherwise it won't stay like this. And yeah, I really have to. But yeah, and I think yeah, the pandemic hitting, not being able to travel and see your family and stuff, and living abroad, it was really helpful. And plus, like Glasgow or Scotland is really cold, so it was helping a lot to get warmer. And yeah, finding the resources to carry on was good.
amazing. What fun, wonderful. And what do you kind of wish now for if you think about next 6 months, or what do you wish to have more from dancing? What would be your kind of your next goal with your dancing?
Uh, well, I have already a next goal because we are starting a new program in January. So that's the moment to do your promotion. And yeah, I don't know. I think like, yeah, being really better at reggaeton, like I would love to do that, or better in salsa, and maybe have more like uh, being more confident, not being scared of like with my weight or stuff like that, and just being able to dance in like a public space, and going back to the studio I would love. But yeah, I think for me, like, yeah, and releasing the pain entirely, like from the back and stuff like that would be ideal. um but yeah, I'm looking forward the 2021 challenge already, and working harder on my core. That's necessary.
Good. Yeah. It's that one thing I keep on yelling there in the class all the time of think about the core in every class. But yeah, I'm really excited. It sounds a lot that in your next kind of wish for getting forward is to get more confident with dancing, and it's being kind of the biggest thing of people when they are starting dancing, or when they're still been also doing dancing for a while, is the next step is like, yeah, I want to be more confident and work on it. And they're being I have found the little keys for that, which I'm now really excited that I can share them for everybody, so everybody can dance like Beyonce even when they're 100. That's what I think.
Well, if we don't have a mirror, yeah, we can definitely dance like Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly. But now, if there's people also listening in live, you can send us questions. Keep an eye. We're gonna end our podcast soon. So if you have a question, you can also pop that in the comments, and we can ask them. But I would ask a kind of a last question of what it would be for yourself to, what would you like to tell to other people, if there's somebody who is listening now and it's been a little bit like you that's finding dance, what would you say to them to encourage them to go with dancing?
Well, with dancing or with your dancing?
With generally just dancing.
Generally dancing. Well, I think it's you need to find like the right. Well, you need to find your own rights to dance by yourself if you want. Like make your own challenge, get your playlist. Like having your guilty pleasure, for example. Like I love Sean Paul. Shouldn't be ashamed, like, and just hey, this is a Sean Paul playlist while doing the Hoover or whatsoever, and then you can twerk, you can shimmy again. It's quite fun. Then to like, because there is no problem to dance alone in your room. Like there is no problem of confidence in that case. Then I think for me it was important to step over to having like a teacher and having someone to actually like tell me what what is good for me, how to position myself, and like giving some part of history, like what's the difference between cha-cha-cha, merengue, rumba, what's the type of rhythm, and get my ears like ready to listen more to the type of rhythm, to make sure that like then I can uh, yeah, pick what I want to do, or like choose the type of gesture that I like, and make my own choreography if I want to. So that's what I would recommend for some people who are a bit scared to start, is like start with the right person. And Zoom is amazing for that, because you don't feel judged, you don't feel that you need to be at the back of the studio class because you're scared to be seen. You can just like express yourself first. And with you, it's been I'm making a bit of promotion on that case, but like it's been amazing, because it was, I think it's important to talk about it. It's been a very democratic prize that you've been offering, and been furloughed for a while. It has been more difficult financially for me, so I couldn't have afforded it if it wasn't with you paying monthly, with something that I can also like choose to dance like from 1 to 7 hours a week. So that's been really helpful as well. And having some tips to say, okay, be kind to yourself. Remember, if you want to do this type of position, you need to think of like how to position like your belly button towards your spine and stuff like that. It's been really helpful. It wasn't judgmental at all. It's been really helping to project myself as like properly being like feeling like professional meanwhile I'm in my bedroom. So I think for people it's important to have someone who is just like really humble and able to help, and we can ask you question anytime. So it's really, really helpful. So that's my, sorry,
Amazing.
it was long, but
Good. No, don't worry at all. Don't worry at all. And yeah, I think you kind of said also the key thing for people to recommend is to find the right teacher,
Mhm.
and that's why I think dance is amazing thing, because there is so many different styles. There's so much to choose, but there's also so many amazing dance artists out there, and we all have our own unique way of doing it. So I know it might just sometimes take a time, but yeah, kind of the finding the teacher that kind of supports what you need is a key thing to keep on going. So that's really lovely
yeah,
to hear.
definitely, because it's someone that you bond with in the end, and that you see maybe a lot more than your friends in the end, because it's pandemic. So it's important to choose the right one if you want to see your teacher 6 times a week in the end.
Yeah, exactly. So you enjoy the time. Well, it's been really lovely to talking with you, Aurora, and I'm really happy that you agreed to come on this little podcast. Do you have on the end? Do you have any questions for me, or do you have anything you would want to add now in the end?
um do you have any challenge for next year, and do you want to teach any other type of dance that it has been your dream and you haven't done yet?
Oh, that's a good question. I think because of my background, I've been training a really versatile and different styles, but it's been also really long time that I haven't teaching other Latin styles except example for a really long time, and now lockdown I've been teaching them more. So it's been funny to kind of to share my other practices now throughout the lockdown. So I think definitely on the next year I would definitely like to teach more on the improvisation classes,
Oh,
which been as well of the kind of a one kind of technique and practice what we do with the program that I have created sometimes. But that's something I enjoy working a lot. So I think that would be a kind of a next little challenge for you guys to have a go.
yeah.
But amazing. Well, I truly, I'm really happy you had a time to have a little chat with me, and I hope that anyone who is listening this now on live or even later, would get a little inspired and getting something out of it. This is what I really want, and I'm really grateful that how openly you're also sharing your experiences, because that's, I think, the best way for us to learn from each other is to be open and honest and sharing our experiences. So I'm really happy you agreed to come and share your experiences. So just want to say thank you, Aurora, and thank you for everyone who are listening in there.
Thank you
And
so much.
yeah, I think we should be just all keep on dancing, so we keep on better health on body and mental wise as well. So yeah, everybody should now take a little challenge for next year to just try something different. Would you agree on that, Aurora?
Yeah, definitely. Plus, we have a reggaeton in half an hour now, so we should get
Exactly.
on.
Exactly. Dancing is, it doesn't stop in our books, right?
Yeah, exactly. Dance everywhere, dance in the park.
Good. Well, just wanna thank you now for there on everybody on who's listening on our live, and even on later on, if you have questions, you can always leave them on our comments, and we will get back to you. But now, just wishing everybody there amazing evening. Thank you guys, and we will be back soon again. Just before the year will end, we have another podcast coming then. But thank you guys, and thank you, Aurora.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.